Hello, good morning. It's Monday morning. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Um, I am struggling to show up this morning. Definitely, it's a hard one. That's why I'm starting a little bit later this morning. Um, because I've had a hard time getting going. So we're just going to talk about that because that's a great example of showing up even when it's hard and when it sucks to show up. Um, I'm just trying to just give me a second. I'm just trying to figure out if I can go live on TikTok. Um, Apparently that's difficult for me to do. So yeah, I don't know where my live button is. Okay, they say it's easy, but I'm kind of technologically challenged, so I guess this morning I'll use my phone for music, and then I will try to figure out the TikTok thing tomorrow. Okay, coffee, because like I said, it's been tough getting going this morning. But that has nothing to do with energy levels, actually. I was up at like 5 and I was ready to get up and do stuff, but it was my brain that was stopping me from doing stuff. So, and I've got a kitten, I guess, here this morning, helping me out. She's my daughter's kitten. So she just wants to be pet pretty much constantly, which is fine. Okay, so struggling. Thoughts. So many thoughts this weekend about my life and my relationships and where I'm at, and just struggling to show up just because everything's not going perfectly. And how do you show up when everything's not going perfectly? um, a lot of times, especially as coaches, we forget to, or we think that we have to have it all together before we show up to help somebody, but that's not really the case. It's Being a coach is about providing curated information for another human being, um, not because you have all the answers, but because you know where to find them, and not because you're perfect yourself, but because you have tools that you can help people with. And I'm thinking she's agreeing with me. What are you doing there? Huh? What? She doesn't like to be held. She just wants to be pet on her terms, like most cats. Um, yeah, so just realizing that I am not perfect, but I am willing to serve as the human being that I showed up to be. So the thing that shifted for me this morning was, how can I show up to serve? And if I have something to say that can help even one person, then it was worth it. It was worth it to push past my own mental chatter. Yes, that's right. My own mental ideas, my own, whatever's going on in my head. So things that I wanted to talk about this morning. I mean, usually when I ask a question of the universe, where did my paper go? Usually I manifest the answer pretty quickly. Usually it doesn't take a whole lot, but this one area of my life is definitely been a struggle for me. And so, I keep asking why it's not working out for me the way that I want it to, and all of those things. But those are not, why is not a great question. Why doesn't help? Why doesn't change anything? So, hmm, okay, I thought that. Oh, here it is. This is it here. Okay, yeah. So some of the tools, I thought maybe I could just tell you guys about some of the tools that I use when things are like this in my head, when there's so much chatter in my head going on. Yes, Kitty. Um, One of the things that I like to do is just write down on one side of the paper everything that I'm experiencing that I don't want to experience. So everything that I'm currently experiencing. And then on the other side of the paper, ask myself what I want to experience. This is sort of like clearing your brain technique, and it helps to just clarify what it is you want. But I want to just give you guys a word of caution. When it comes to manifesting, when it comes to thinking about things, when it comes to attracting from the universe, it's really important that you, that you go with the feeling. I think that my kitten might be going into heat. She is like super ridiculous right now. So it's really important that you think about how things feel. Sometimes visualization is good and it can help you get a picture, but there's two things that can be really tricky with it. One, you cannot control another human being. You can't control their moods, their thoughts, their actions, who they are, and what they want in life. And two, if the thing that you're trying to manifest is not right for you, um, you will get it if you work hard enough and you really believe that that's what you want. You'll get it, but it won't be right for everybody involved in the situation. So that's why good feelings are important when you're trying to manifest something, when you are trying to ask the question, when you're trying to change the loop in your brain, when you're trying to gain another perspective, when you're trying to work on your current situation. It's really important to have feelings of hope, gratitude, love, peace when you pull in that energy from the universe, because that's a universal language that everybody can understand. And that's not the language of control. It's not the language of negative thoughts. It's not the language of um, everything working out only for you and for nobody else. So, yeah, I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts about that or you want to comment on that, you're more than welcome to. Um, that's just something that I've learned, is to manifest, and let it go to the universe. The whole idea about asking questions anyway is so that you aren't in control. Um, that the energy of love and gratitude and peace and hope, that those are the things that are attracting what you want in your life, helping you attract what you want in your life. Um, that it's not the energy of control or negativity or selfishness or any of those lower vibrations. That would require trust. Trusting that the universe is good, trusting that um, you will have what you want, that your dreams can come true. Mm, I just had another thought. Oh, yes. Okay. I think we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So, finding your default is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to write that down though right now because sometimes I'm not superhuman. Sometimes I'm not immortal and perfect and amazing, and I forget things. As a mom, you try to be um, everything to everybody, but for some reason, yeah, I still haven't achieved perfection yet. um, so, yes, finding your default will be something that we talk about tomorrow. So, today, I just kind of wanted to talk about faith and pushing through those negative, yucky thoughts that help get us stuck, which kind of is a clue to default. Um, that's a clue to helping you find your default is those negative thoughts that get you stuck. But what do you do with them? What do you do? Like we can delete and destory. We can ask the question. Those are all great tools. But what do you do when you hit your default wall? Are you aware of hitting your default wall? Do you know where it is? Can you find it? What happens when you have to go deeper? That's part of what I've been struggling with all weekend. So I'll tell you guys because I believe in being authentic and transparent. So my thing that I was struggling with was really feeling like I am an obligation to the people that are in my life, that I show up as when I show up needing something, that I'm an obligation to them, that they feel like I'm an obligation, and it's not true. But I was like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I struggling with this so much? Like, what would make me feel like I'm an obligation to somebody? I mean, I know that I make it my intent and my purpose. I'm not perfect, but I know that I wake up and I ask, how can I serve today? How can I show up as me? How can I show up um, the best version of me today? So I know I don't wake up thinking, how can I be an obligation to somebody today? How can I make someone's life more difficult? I mean, none of us really do wake up thinking that, but still, I make it my intention. I live my morning and my day intentionally. How can I show up? So I know that I'm not, you know, um, I know that I'm not showing up as an obligation, but that's an old wound. That's like, I don't know, probably something from maybe even my Akashic records, I don't know, or from a contract that I came into this life with. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's an old wound. And I was deleting and destoring that. And I was thinking, I delete, destory, uncreate across all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities. Everywhere I show up as an obligation, or everywhere I've believed that I am an obligation to somebody, all Pod Poc, all 12 boy shorts and beyonds, and it still didn't feel light. The energy didn't change. It didn't loosen. I was like, because sometimes you have to delete and destory. Sometimes you have to say it over and over again until it's gone, until the energy's gone. But it wasn't working. I'm like, why isn't it working? Like, what's going on here? What belief am I still holding that's keeping me in this space? And this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but again, it's we're all human. We're not perfect. We're all learning. Now I'm getting emotional. um, so this would be me showing up as my authentic self. um, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to admit because We want to be perfect, like I said, and especially as a guru and for everything that I preach and for everything that I try my best to live. This one just really hit me hard. So deleting and destroying that I'm not an obligation, and it wasn't lightening up, so I had to dig deeper. And I realized that I didn't feel like I would be taken care of, or that the universe would show up to take care of me, or that I was still afraid that I was on my own, that I had to figure this out on my own, whatever. Just that fear that or that reality for you or me or whatever, if that's fear or reality, I don't know, that that I won't be taken care of. And so I needed in that reality, in that manifestation, I realized that I needed to be an obligation, or believe, sorry, I needed to believe that I was an obligation to somebody in order for my needs to be met. I was like, wow, that's pretty deep and that's pretty intense. And again, it's so embarrassing to admit that. Because, here I am telling you guys, like, just delete and destroy and just ask the question. And yeah, all of that stuff works, and it's still what I do every day. It's still what I live, but sometimes you have to go a little bit deeper, and sometimes you find things that you don't want to find and that you're not, it's hard, they're hard to look at. So anyways, I just put that in my statement, in my clearing statement. You poor kitten. I delete, destroy, uncreate across all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities everywhere I bought and sold the lie that I won't be taken care of if I don't show up as an obligation. All pod poc, all 12 boy shorts and beyonds. So yeah, I don't know, like if that's your default, maybe that's why I needed to show up today. Maybe that's something that you needed to hear. Clearly this is an emotional one for me. So when we are done here, I definitely will be taking my piece of paper and writing out what I'm experiencing and what I want to experience instead. This is a really, really great tool that goes along with deleting and destorying and asking the question. So the question that we're going to meditate with this morning is still going to be, how can this turn out better than I could have imagined? And how can I show up as my authentic self today? And I'm pretty sure we're just going to have a kitten helping us out. I know. Poor girl. At least she's not howling. My sister-in-law has a cat that's part wild, and when she goes into heat, she howls. So this is a much more pleasant sound. I still feel sorry for this girl, though. So yeah, if you want to join me, if you're willing to change your story, and you're willing to dig in and find your default, then let's do some meditating. Just gonna find some music. That's right. Oh, tiddaloo. So I'm actually really allergic to cats, but my daughter wanted a cat, and I don't know, you do stuff for your kids, right? That you wouldn't normally do for anybody else. But amazingly enough, this cat does not seem to give me allergies, so that's a good thing, because sneezing and meditation are really difficult look to pull off. Okay, so we are at 20 minutes already, so let's meditate for at least 5. Lose. So just find a spot that's comfortable for you. Either sitting or laying down is totally fine. And I want you just to imagine that you're sending your energy down to the earth, down to the center of the earth. And then just pull it back up again. And then I want you to imagine sending your energy up to the universe, to the light. And then just pull it back down again. And just find your space behind your eyes. And really just center yourself inside of your body. Take a deep breath. Feel your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And ask yourself, are you willing to change your story? If you're willing to change your story, then I want you to ask yourself, how can it get any better than this? Ask yourself, how can I show up as me today? And what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have? And just start to find that joy. Start to just pull in the feelings of what it would feel like to have the relationship that you want. Don't worry about any specific thoughts or ideas. I know this goes against all the gurus and the vision board gurus, but just feel what it would feel like. And start to feel what it would feel like to have the kind of home that you want. To have the kind of career that you want. What would that feel like if you could just go and do and be anything you wanted to? If there's anything that you want to put in here, you can just go ahead. You don't need to follow along with me. If there's anything that you want to feel the feelings of, what would it feel like to have the kind of health that you want? What would it feel like for you to show up as the true you today? If you're done finding your feelings of joy and peace and gratitude and love, then just start to pull in all of the feelings from the universe. Start to pull in all of those things and how they feel from the universe. Through every cell in your body, you start to pull that energy in. If you can, imagine that you're drawing in the energy and then letting it go at the top of your head. Okay, now start to pull in the energy and just keep it in your body. And feel yourself expand. And smile. It's okay to smile. It's okay to feel happy. And then just start to let that energy out from your heart through each heartbeat. Send it out into the universe to every person, place, and thing that you don't even know yet will receive your call, your draw, your pull. And start to imagine and just think about all of the ways that your questions will start to manifest as answers in your life. Okay, and I want to just invite you guys to bring yourselves back to your space here. And just open your eyes. Come back to reality. One thing that I want to say now, I'm not, again, affiliated with any religion or specific spiritual practice at all, so don't take this the wrong way. But it's one of my favorite ways to explain quantum physics is that faith is the substance of things hoped for, but not yet seen. So when we have hope, like an expectation, an inspiration for something good, That is literally the substance of the things hoped for but not yet seen. That is literally how we create it. So I just want to leave you with that thought today, that we are creative beings, that we were meant to be creative beings, that we were meant to co-create with Source. And I had another thought, but let that inspire you, and just go with that today, that you're meant to feel inspired and to feel hopeful and to feel excited for a particular outcome. Yep. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today. You can catch us on the replay. Subscribe. Please subscribe, because it does help if I know that I am helping people. Right. My name is Amanda Wallace. I am a health coach, and I am a massage therapist. And I always forget to do that at the beginning of the video, because this really is about serving you. But if you have any questions or comments or need help with anything, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than willing to help. And sometimes we all just need a little bit of outside perspective to help us get where we want to go. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope this helps. Have a good Monday, and I will be here again tomorrow with some more amazing thoughts to talk about, and we will talk about finding your defaults. Right, my button's over there. Oops. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday.